Wildlife in the mountains of Colorado. That's what we're talking about today. So stay tuned to the end. We're going to talk all about it. Hey guys, I'm James Dean, team leader of the James D. Mountain Homes team. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Just really quick before we get into the meat of this video, I just wanted to make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that subscription button down below, hit that notification bell. That keeps you updated on all the new videos that we have coming out weekly. We've got several that come out each week on this channel, so please stay up to date with that. Also, if you've got any questions whatsoever that are real estate related or just in the community, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and give us a call. You can either call us at 719-266-2725. You can text us to that number as well, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net. Please, whatever you got to do to get those questions to us, please ask. We're here to help. We're here to provide value to you and helping you make informed decisions, whether you're looking to buy or sell real estate or just typical questions for the community out here. We are local experts of this area and we love this area. So please reach out to us, and we hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so today guys, we're talking about something that folks love about living out here, and that is the different types of wildlife that you might not have seen if you never lived out west before. So if you're from the East Coast like myself, unless you're way up north, you've never been around elk, you've never been around moose. Depending on where you were on the East Coast, you might not have even never seen a bear before. Something that's pretty common over there, and deer. But we have some things here that could be very unique. Now, I live in the mountains up here within the Pikes Peak region. These animals are both up here and they're down in Colorado Springs. In fact, I bet you get more bear sightings down in Colorado Springs and more mountain lion sightings down there than you do up here in the mountains. Up here, they got plenty of places to hide. Down there, they're usually looking for that person that left their food out in the trash, and they're going to dig through the trash, and that person's going to find out very quickly why we don't leave our trash cans out overnight waiting for the trash man to come, and we bring it out immediately the day up. So we're going to start kind of at the top and work our way down, and I'm probably going to mix this up coming through. I'm going to start first with a thing that used to never be around here, and it was a super rarity, and now where I live, I'm running into these guys all the time. In fact, I ran into one literally last week. I ran into three, and that's moose. To me, moose are probably one of the most terrifying things to run into out in the wild because they don't have the greatest eyesight. They've got great senses of smell, and they've got great ears. And a lot of us have dogs out here, and the canine, the wolf, is the #1 enemy of the moose. That is what the moose is most scared of, and we got lots of cows with calves out here too. So that is something to definitely keep your eyes on when you're up in the mountains. And there's certain places you're going to see them more often than others. I live near the Craig's Trailhead, and we see them all the time. They cross our property. They've interacted with our horses in ways that I wish they had not. They've run our horses all over the place, but they've also been wandered up on with hikers. I run, and I ran into three last week, like I was talking about. And I had one of my dogs with me. Thank God he didn't see them out there. So running, and I heard crunches in the snow as they stood up, and it was a bull and a cow was all I saw at the time. I got my male Ridgeback. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, big dogs, bred for hunting and baying lions in Africa. That is something I definitely did not want them to feel threatened by, because I did not want them to charge me. Got them back, we got out of eyesight, and we booked it back down the hill. I got back, and I was able to go back up in my vehicle and take some photos and some video of those guys, which you're probably seeing right now. But moose are definitely everywhere, starting to breed more and more, and we are definitely having them here interacting with our populace a whole lot more. So make sure you're very careful with them. The calf, I saw the calf when we went back. And it's rare to see them together. That was super rare with that young bull, the cow, and the calf. They're normally very solitude unless it's just a cow and a calf, or it's during the rut season, which is usually in the fall time. But that was a fantastic encounter just to be able to see it. And it ended well because they didn't charge, thank God. I was literally only 20 yards away when I saw them. And I don't run with earbuds in the mountains or hike with earbuds in, because I like to hear what's going on around me. We have lots of big critters out here, and I want to hear if something's walking around nearby. So that's the first one, is the moose. And these things are literally twice the size of my horses. They are monstrous. They're really big, but really cool to see as you see them out in their wild habitat. The next thing we're going to talk about is the elk. We got lots of elk out here. We got the Pikes Peak herd. Depending on where you are, you can see them all over the place. You've even got a herd down on Fort Carson. We've got herds further west out in Tarryall. There's lots of elk out here. They usually travel in big groups unless it's during the rut season. You can see the bulls out separate during that time, but you usually see them in these massive groups. You see them out in the plains and prairie areas. At Mueller State Park is where they birth for the Pikes Peak herd. So they birth out there in the late spring, early summertime. So you get a chance to see some calves. These guys are big. They're usually anywhere between 600 and 800 pounds. Big, big animals, way bigger than a deer. We get folks that come through Woodland Park all the time and they're like, oh, we saw the elk herd in Woodland Park. There's no elks in Woodland Park. You see an elk in Woodland Park, that is a very, very odd, strange occurrence. What they're seeing is the mule deer. The mule deer are big too compared to other deer. We'll get to that soon, but when you see an elk, you know you saw an elk. Much, much bigger than a deer out there. So definitely something to watch out for too. When you're out and you're driving, make sure you're always watching your surroundings, because those guys, once they start hopping over a fence, the whole mass of them will go. So you'll end up with 20 to 40, all just kind of flooding over a fence and over the road at the same time. Something to watch out for too while we're talking about that. If you're driving up to somebody in Colorado and you're in the mountains and they start flashing their lights, it's probably because there's wildlife about to cross the road. They just slam on the brakes and stop for it, and they want you to know and be alert for it as well. It might be because there's police out there too, but usually it's for the wildlife up here that you're going to see, and that is what you can get in a lot of trouble for, and they will total a vehicle really, really quick. So the elk are really, really cool to see up here too. Next, we'll talk what we already kind of started talking about, the mule deer. The mule deer are really spectacular to see. If you're from back east, even from like Kansas or Oklahoma, we get folks all the time from Kansas, Oklahoma, from Texas, and they see one of our muleys that's a 12-point muley, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at that trophy buck. And it's like, yep, and there's another one and another one and another one and another one. They're all over the place. Really cool to see. Please don't feed them. It does cause lots of problems because then they start getting used to humans, and that can cause lots of issues both in neighborhoods and then with car accidents and then with encounter accidents as well. But they're all over the place. Our mule deer are like pigeons. They're everywhere out here. You'll see them in lots of neighborhoods, both down in Colorado Springs as well as up in the mountains. Next, we're going to talk about black bears. So we don't have grizzlies down here, even though our bears sometimes look cinnamon colored. Those are still North American black bear. They're just faded out from being in the sun a bunch. We've got some big ones that are out here, and we got some smaller ones. They will have cubs. They do hibernate in the wintertime, so they kind of go away in the wintertime. But when it starts warming up, they'll start coming out of hibernation and looking for food, which is why you don't want to have your garbage cans sitting outside. And you'll find out very quickly if you do leave it out there. You might have gotten lucky a few times, but once a bear discovers it, they're going to keep coming back for it all the time. And you'll find trash everywhere. We don't want to have that. We don't want them to become nuisances either. You'll see these guys down in Colorado Springs and up here in the mountains quite a bit. They're not aggressive unless you get between a mama bear and her cub. They're usually pretty docile and just, you leave me alone and I'll leave you alone kind of a thing. But don't go up and try to pet them at all. It's still a big black bear, but they don't charge a whole lot either. Next, we've also got mountain lions. Now the mountain lions, you don't see a whole lot. Usually when you see a mountain lion, it's because he or she wants you to see him out there. I've only seen a couple myself. Seen one when I was side by side, and that thing was gigantic. I did not expect them to look that big when I saw one in person. He was almost running next to the side by side. He was, about 40, 50 yards off to our left, running with us through the trees, and then he just stopped and looked. We stopped, and I realized that probably wasn't a good place to be, so we just kept going. At that point, my wife's seen them cross our property, up between our property and the Pikes Peak Forest up there. We have them all over the place. Salida has a major problem with them. They are seen quite a bit down in Colorado Springs. They've actually fallen down into window wells down there too. So that is something that we do see quite a bit. So don't think because you're in the city, you don't have a chance to see the mountain lion. You can still end up with a mountain lion in your neighborhood. Other things that we can see out here are bobcats. Bobcats and lynx are really, really reclusive. I have not seen one yet. You could hear them when they're in season or they're in heat. They kind of roar a little bit, but I haven't really interacted a whole lot with them. I know people have seen them a lot more than we have. Those are kind of cool to run into and see as well. We've got rabbits out here. We got prairie dogs. Little warning on the prairie dogs. You go by a prairie dog hole and you're going to see fleas just clouding all over the place. Most of these prairie dogs out here have black plague. So it's just not transferable over to humans. Every now and then you hear about somebody that was dumb enough to put their hand down in it or something, and then they get the black plague from it. But it's not like back in the Middle Ages. But probably not something you want your dogs to kind of play around into. We also have some really cool birds that are out here, birds of prey that are out here too. We've got bald eagles, we've got golden eagles, which are bigger than bald eagles, way bigger than bald eagles. Got lots of different kinds of falcons and red-tailed hawks out here too. So we have lots of really cool birds of prey out here. And then of course, trout and all the streams and the lakes also. So there you have it. There's a big synopsis, and there's other things that we have out here that I didn't talk about, like porcupines and raccoons and stuff. They're a little bit more rare, but they're out here too. But I hope you found this informative and fun. A lot of these I've had encounters with as well, but it's really cool to check out. It's really an awesome place to really be able to enjoy nature. Let nature do its thing, but just get out there and enjoy what you can see out here. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. And once again, before you sign off, make sure you hit that subscription button, that notification bell down below. That will keep you updated on all the new videos that we have come out that are here to inform you and help keep you updated on what's happening here, both in the community and in real estate as well. And once again too, if you got any questions, please do not hesitate to give us a call, 719-266-2725. You can text us at that number as well, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible to answer all of those questions. We're here to serve you, and we look forward to helping you soon.